Hey, what's up, everybody? Thanks for joining. It is the month of July, and we are here on the Veterans Whiskey Club live stream. We're going to talk about military events. We're going to talk about military history. We're going to talk about veteran-owned whiskey, and we have a lot of special things on the agenda for today. There's also going to be a giveaway at the end, but you have to be here to win it. And so we're going to get to that in a minute, but what we're going to talk about right now is that it is the beginning, first Saturday of the month of July. And so instead of me jumping on my soapbox and giving you a speech about the 4th of July and Independence Day, I'm going to have somebody present a speech that's much better at speeches than I am. Hope that makes sense to you. Makes sense to me. Get out of here.
Today, we celebrate the 206th anniversary of our independence. Through our history, we've never shrunk before a challenge. The conquest of new frontiers for the betterment of our homes and families is a crucial part of our national character, something which you so ably represent today. The space program in general and the shuttle program in particular have gone a long way to help our country recapture its spirit of vitality and confidence. The pioneer spirit still flourishes in America. In the future, as in the past, our freedom, independence, and national well-being will be tied to new achievements, new discoveries, and pushing back new frontiers. The fourth landing of the Columbia is the historical equivalent to the driving of the Golden Spike, which completed the first transcontinental railroad.
It's easy to forget just what a revolution these Americans made. It's easy to forget how they amazed the world and how many hopes they raised. President George Washington, in the very first inaugural address, warned Americans that they had a new responsibility. He said, "The preservation of the sacred fire of liberty and the destiny of the Republican model of government are justly considered, perhaps as deeply as finally, staked on the experiment entrusted to the hands of the American people." Now, you may not think of yourself or our democracy as an experiment, but look around. All over the world, millions and millions of people still live under tyranny. Their leaders claim that they're the wave of the future, that history is on their side, and yet their people look to us for hope.
Somewhere today, I hope we will all pause for a brief moment and think of all we have to be thankful for and of the great future that lies before us. The spirit of our nation is strong. The freedoms our forefathers won for us endure. We still stand for freedom throughout the world, which is why immigrants still come to us. No one emigrates to Cuba or jumps over the wall into East Berlin or seeks refuge in the Soviet Union. Those who look for freedom seek sanctuary here.
And in spite of decades of troubles and sometimes self-doubt, look across the world for the persecuted and punished, for those who yearn to be free, for those who fight for the right to worship, to speak freely, to write what they want, to enjoy the freedom God meant us to have. For all those people, America's not just a word, it is a hope, a torch shedding light to all the hopeless of the world.
For just a moment, let us listen to the words again. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Last night, when we rededicated Miss Liberty and relit her torch, we reflected on all the millions who came here in search of the dream of freedom, inaugurated in Independence Hall. We reflected, too, on their courage in coming great distances and settling in a foreign land and then passing on to their children and their children's children. The hope symbolized in this statue here just behind us. Believe me, if there's one impression I carry with me after the privilege of holding for 5.5 years the office held by Adams, Jefferson, and Lincoln, it is this: that the things that unite us, America's past of which we're so proud, our hopes and aspirations for the future of the world and its much-loved country, these things far outweigh what little divides us. And so tonight, we are reaffirming that Jew and Gentile, we are one nation under God. The black and white, we are one nation indivisible. That Republican and Democrat, we are all Americans.
Heck yeah. He said, very well said. Going to start with this month's veteran whiskey. Now, this was veteran selected small batch. And if you look at the tab on here on this, my light wasn't so freaking bright. Sorry, guys. I wanted you to be able to see the faces. So these are the veterans that picked this small batch, which is why it's included as the veteran whiskey of the month. Normally, it would have to take a military veteran distiller for me to feature them. But since they have the names and faces of the veterans who picked this special small batch, and it's one of the best $20 bottles that you'll ever try, because it was only $20, but it does not drink like a $20 bottle. It has a very full, complete mouthfeel. It is an excellent bourbon. This batch, the 2025 batch, was picked by one Air Force vet, one Navy vet, and 4 Army vets picked this batch. Speaking of the different branches, in the poll in the chat, there's a poll. Please vote on which branch you or your family served in, who you're representing today. And when it comes towards the end of the night, we are going to close out that poll and see which branch was strongest representing tonight. But let me get back to this. The Evan Williams (1783) Heroes. So, 2025. Because last year we did feature last year's bottle. They only put out one small batch of this per year. And it depends on where you're at or what store you're at and, you know, who else is around, who knows about it. Sometimes they sit on the shelf for a while because people don't know that it's that much better than the regular 1783. And other times it disappears quickly and you never see it again. So it's really hit or miss depending on where you live. Let's look at the chat real quick before we move on to another subject. Scotch Down Under, all the way from Australia, joining in the house. It's good to see you, my friend. Sean's here. Eric is here. Yes, got the 10-minute water timer ready to go. We got to remember we're going to drink more water than we drink whiskey. And so have yourself a glass of water. Remember to hydrate. Absolutely. America. Eric's dropping links. Appreciate you, buddy. Dennis is here. Dave is here. Chris is here. Rob is here. Thank you guys for being here. Much appreciated. Orlando's in the house. What up? Baker sent me. Gandy Rhodes here. Dave's. There's the Bakers. And there's the Bakers. Ha!
Here we are.
What's up, buddy?
God, not much. Just enjoying the day after 4th of July. When I saw you guys in the background, I was like, oh my goodness, I can't just leave them back there until I catch up on chat. I don't know if I'm ever going to. CJP is here. Was there anybody? Oh, West Virginia Bourbon guys in the house. What's up, bud? Good to see you. Scotty here. Orlando's here. Anybody else I missed? Oh, BTM is in the house. What's up, BTM? Good to see you. Just met BTM a couple days ago on this kind of a platform, not in real life. But yeah, we should get together and do something. Whiskey Wisdom, Matt's in the house. Good to see you. He had a good show today. I was listening to it while I was doing some work outside. I needed to do some custom to my grill, because my grill, you know, we made for 4th of July, made some thick ribeyes to, you know, spoil ourselves, you know, for the 4th. And my grill has 3 like grill platform things, you know, and my wife throws a steak on there. Everyone goes, dude, and just falls in. And I was like, oh my goodness. And so the little platform that holds it up had rusted and broke off. And so I had to bust out the metal bits for the drill and drill a hole and make a shelf. I had to do some man fixing stuff over here.
You had to improvise, adapt, and overcome.
I did. And you know what? It came out so much better than I thought it would. I'm really proud of myself.
Nice.
I was like, wife, come over here and tell me I did a good job. Because, you know, you need those, you know, slap on the butt, good job, hun, from her sometimes. And she never thinks to do it.
I can relate.
Yeah. And no, honestly, like good relationship advice. My brother told me like that his wife will do that to him. And she's like, will you come and look at this and tell me I did a good job or something? And they'll just blatantly say it like that. But not in a, you know, in a friendly way. That way you say, I need some words of affirmation from you. I need to add a boy, you know, congrats kind of thing. And you just bluntly kind of say it. Hey, I need you to come tell me I did a good job. I worked really hard on this. And she's like, oh, you thought that out. That was smart. Good job. I'm like, yes, thank you.
Yeah.
I'm talking about.
I'll ask Laura to come look at something and she'll look at it and be like, huh. And I'll be like, what's wrong? Nothing. Huh.
No, I always say it looks good, babe, and you're like, that's not a good answer.
I can tell by the look on your face that you've got concerns. Voice them.
Nope, looks good. Looks good.
But I find all that very relevant to say on this platform for the Veterans Whiskey live stream. All veterans know that mental health is a huge part of our lives and things that us and our battle buddies have to deal with. We have to deal with it every day. Because, you know, those of us that were lucky enough to come home from the war have to deal with it. And your relationship with your partner is a big contributor to your mental health. And so I think it's totally appropriate to talk about here. Bill Reynolds, good to see you, my friend. Looking forward to showing some more stuff. Oh, I almost forgot. All the veterans out there. So Bill Reynolds, you're going up on there. Troy, you're going up. We are doing a wheel of names because there is going to be a a giveaway. Not from me. I have been asked to hold a giveaway because if you are a veteran and you are here tonight, somebody wants to buy you a drink. And so call out if you are here and if you're a veteran, and I will put your name on the wheel of names to spin later on in the show. That way I can send him the information of who won the flight, but you're going to have to contact us and give us like your mailing address and whatnot. But he wants to buy you a drink. And there's going to be one lucky winner who wins a whole flight of buy you a drink.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I thought so. So Troy, I'm just going to put Baker's because there's multiple Troys. Hold on, Bill Reynolds is here. I'm glad I did not forget that because I was about to get to the next subject. Let's see. Whiskey Joker's in the house. Good to see you, buddy. Dave, Mr. Mom. Hitting that like button. It is free tonight. It said, unless you hate America.
And free is a very good price.
Dude, limited time only. Evan Williams, 2025 in the Glen for me, Northwest Bourbon. That's our veteran whiskey of the month.
Yep, I'm gonna pour some right now.
All right. I brought Evan Williams to a 4th of July yesterday, and nobody had tried it or knew much about it. The bottle did not last long. Yes. True story. Pecker House is in the house. What's up, Bill? Good to see you. Joey B. What's up, Joey B? And Tommy D is in the house. Tommy D is an Air Force veteran. You are going on the wheel of names. My buddy Whiskey Joker is also, he's an Army buddy of mine, but he already told me he does not, he wants somebody else to win it. Josh Fritz is in the house. Cheers to all you veterans, and thank you. Good to see you, Marty. If you're not subscribed,
Appreciate you, Marty.
Big Vic's in the house. Thanks for saying what's up, Big Vic. Big Vic was chilling on his back porch earlier. Rye Guy, cheers, Mark and Bakers. What up, Rye Guy? Good to see you. Did I miss anybody? Did I miss anybody? Did I miss anybody? Everyone's slamming the like. Old Pirate Bourbon's in the house. What's up? Good to see you, man.
OPB.
OPB.
Haven't seen OPB in forever.
Yeah, you know me. I'm done with OPB. A percentage of each 2025 Heroes Edition goes to Veterans Mental Health Organization. Dude, we were just talking about both of those things.
Great point, Orlando.
I am old, but not a veteran. Oh, Dave.
Dave, you're older than most.
Independent Joe, Marine, in the house.
What's up, Joe?
Joe, you're going on the wheel. Going on the wheel. When we ended the after party, did you see Charles passed out? Go Army, go Navy. I know. Ha. Is that Doc Martinez?
No, that's not. That's
a different
a
Martinez?
different.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Well, good to see you, Miracle. Are you a veteran, Miracle? I can throw your name on the wheel if you are. Hold on. Let me show you what we're talking about here. Oh, close that down. Why is the wheel not the way the wheel is supposed to be wheeling right now?
It's a wheel in progress.
It really is. Where is the part where I change the colors and stuff? I thought it was under customize.
I mean, that makes a lot of sense.
Appearance. There we go. The other one that I use, I have the Northwest Bourbon logo in the middle of it. So that's interesting. I don't know why this one doesn't have the thing where I have my logo on it. Strange things are afoot. What up, Ben?
Go to on the right, pull the thing back up, and on the right it has add image, and it's or select image.
There we go. Add center image.
What's going on, Ben?
How you doing?
How you
It was
doing,
dark
man?
and scary back there for a long time.
Did you see any monsters?
Uh,
There we go.
I'm
we go.
Extremely happy to see you survived the chicken wrap.
yeah, I mean, are my sound effects coming through now? You got me all like. in my head.
we heard the old America.
That was very loud.
Excellent, because on the after party for Baker Drinks, they said they were hearing it very low. So I spent like the last half hour checking all my mixes and everything. Because if you didn't see my last night's stream, I might have played America F Yeah about 4,000 times.
Yeah.
Even though none of you were there, it's cool.
Family members currently 4 generations. I went to college. Wait, cheers to your family. Yeah. So we've got a lot of other people in chat right now that have told me similar things to where they have either themselves or family members served in multiple. We see it, Ben. Goodness gracious. Where they're split on which one to vote for, and I'm like, hey, just vote for whichever one, and then next month vote for the other one.
Thanks, Eric.
Z-Man. Like Z-Man. All right, so we've already established that the whiskey of the month is the 2025 small batch American Hero Edition. And we're going to move on to next. We're not going to do too much other stuff before we honor the fallen. We've got to pay respect those who are no longer with us. So for the month of July, tomorrow would have been Banda's birthday. I think I told you guys before, a few years back. Oh, what was it? It was like 8 or 10 years ago now, I think. Maybe not that long ago. But they opened all the branches, all the MOSs in the Army, open to females. And so females could go be rangers and go be infantry and whatnot. And I'm a combat engineer, which was it's a combat role, so it was male only up until I think just less than 10 years ago they opened it to females. And Banda was the first combat engineer female that I actually worked with. And we worked together for 2 years or so, and she took her own life. Wow. A few years back.
Sorry, brother.
Yeah. And tomorrow would have been her birthday. Let's see. We lost Christopher Solis. I've told you guys about him. Him and I went to ALC together. So we were eating together, living in the same building, going to class together every day for 7 weeks. Great dude. And he is a Medal of Honor recipient. And so I actually found a new video to play for him later on. So we'll talk about him some more later. But yeah, dude, Solis was an awesome dude. If anybody else has any family or friends or fellow service members that their birthday was the month of July and they're no longer with us, or they passed away in the month of July, I'll give you a few minutes, give them a shout out in the chat, and we'll put the name up on the board and we'll raise a glass to them.
Well, I'd like to take a mulligan on June because I was so excited by the fact that Anchor Genealogy is trying to find my uncle.
Yes.
That
have you heard any follow up to that?
No, that they're doing the DNA tests on the samples the family sent in. They got to sequence them before they can compare. His brother, my grandfather, passed in June, and mid June of 2015, and I didn't highlight that last month, so I'd like to put his name up.
Is that your great uncle?
No. My great uncle's the one they're trying to bring home. Right. Grandfather actually passed in the month in mid-June. His death anniversary or whatever you would call it was like 2 weeks ago.
Okay. How would you like me to annotate his name on here?
Arnold Golden.
Arnold?
Yep. Arnie or whatever you want.
All right. Thank you for sharing, Ben.
Yep.
And I will give the chat another minute. Anybody out there wants any other names thrown on the board for us to recognize them? I'm going to get my my drink ready.
Yes, sir.
I've got a special bottle of Horse Soldier that gets this honor and this honor alone.
I'm going to do a little old line this month. A little bit.
Speaking of horse soldier, Mark,
Yes.
July 26th, Vince will be at Fort Vancouver signing bottles for the Horse Soldier 250.
Nice. That's awesome. I actually talked to him earlier today. We're going to link up next week and get lunch, and he's got one of those for me.
Nice.
And
Yeah, I
so,
think
do you guys
the lady
know? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was going to say the lady at Vancouver said they had 36 bottles. It was first come, first serve. So I'm going to get there early.
Oh, that's it.
Yeah.
Wow.
36 is all they got.
Then it's wow. That's crazy because
I didn't know it was that limited.
yeah, we got a few cases at the Class 6, and so if you miss out on one, there is some up here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. BTM reviews. Got it?
Yeah.
Oh, all right. I know Orlando.
What was he? He was because he died last month, right? 2/8/84. Oh no, because I remember he sent me his picture and stuff, and I drew him up here before. Thanks for sharing, Orlando. Definitely raise a glass. BTM, my dad served 25 years in the Navy. Nice. Dave Shelley. That's awesome. Thanks for sharing, and cheers to your dad. Jerry Black is in the house. Desert Storm veteran. Jerry, you are going on the wheel of names.
For sure. There we go. That wheel's looking tight and right now.
Heck yeah. If you missed it earlier, we've got somebody who appreciates your service, and so if you are a current or former service member of the military, just shout it out, like a no shame self shout out, and you're gonna get put on the name because somebody wants to buy you a drink, and they're gonna put in a flight and send them your way, and it'll be one lucky winner, a veteran that's here with us tonight. So let me know. Great uncle passed away in July. Uncle Garza. Thank you for sharing, and cheers to your uncle, Vietnam veteran. That's awesome. I have got to throw somebody up that when I was out of town, a friend of mine at church who is a Vietnam veteran, he was in the Army, and he passed away while I was gone. And my wife grabbed me one of the flyers from the memorial service and stuff like that. But I'm gonna put Jim's name up there. I was really upset when I found out that I missed the service they had for him. But
He would have wanted you to do what you did, though. He would have wanted you to be in the parade.
well, no, I mean it was the time I went out of town before the parade.
Oh,
I forgot about it last month.
well, it was still, yeah, he was still serving.
So I'm gonna have to get his birth month and the month that he passed away written down on my list here, so I don't forget it again. Veteran of Operation Just Cause and Desert Storm Desert Shield. Jerry. Appreciate you being here, Jerry.
And a serious whiskey tube veteran, too.
Yeah. All right, guys, we're going to raise a glass to the fallen. So if you have a glass, raise it up. And remember that we do this and remember to them. So we keep saying their names so they never are truly forgotten. May you rest in peace until Valhalla, lest we forget. All right, like I told you, my former Army colleague Banda, mental health is a real serious thing in our stressful lives that we live. So you got to remember to take care of yourself and take care of your buddy. And by taking care of your buddy, there's something that has been used as kind of a catchphrase is the 22. Because for a while, it was on average 22 military veterans were taking their life every single day. Now, the number is not always that amount. Some years it's higher. Some years it's down to that low, 22 a day. I know that some months, the average, it was like 45 or something for a little while. So what we do is we do 22 push-ups. In remembrance of them, because you are taking care of yourself, you're taking your body care of your body, and you're recognizing that this is a serious issue. So we do 22 push-ups a month. Troy and I, we started one more per month. And what are we on, 32 now, or is it 31?
It's 32.
I thought so. I thought it was 32. All right, guys, if you are willing and able, please grab that earth and push it away from yourselves. Get it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32. Chris said he's got to get up in 3 hours. He's going to bed. Hey, I appreciate you staying on this late if you got to be up that early. Jerry Black, raising the glass. Mike Davis. Appreciate you guys. All of you guys that participated in the push-ups, greatly appreciate you. And I appreciate all the names that you guys wrote up on the board for us to remember them.
Oh, it gets harder every month for this fat old man, Mark.
Tell me about it.
Damn.
Although for me, the true challenge is getting up off the floor after.
All right, so we've got whiskey in the glass. Got names on the board. Next up is news. So that is where we talk about things that had happened in this month previously, and then we get to today on what's going on currently. But we are going to start going forward by looking back.
Gives you the freedom to tell your story with a professional website that reflects who you are and what you have to offer. Customize every element of your web.
Why? Why? Oh, why? I'm telling you. I can take that away. I can take that away.
Hey, Mark, we got some calls for water.
Absolutely. What's up, Z-Man?
What's going on, brother?
Not a whole lot. Just getting some links together to share some stories.
What's up, Z-Man?
Look, yeah. What's going on, Troy? Ben?
Z.
Just recovering from them push-ups.
Yeah, I got a pinched nerve in my back. I'm not getting on the floor.
I'm gonna tough it out every time.
Yeah, I tough out a lot of shit, and walking is part of it.
Yep.
I did them for you, Z. It's all right.
I appreciate you, man.
Oh my goodness. What in the Sam hell is going on around here?
I like the whiteboard, Mark.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Starts at 0. Crushing Civil War. It's 2-0. Oh, good. Sorry, the first 3 videos I had, apparently I saved them wrong. And so you don't get to see them. We get so we're gonna start with the World War II veteran.
You don't think we could fix them quick?
I'm gonna try
while the other's playing.
Yeah.
All right. Let me know if I can help.
Gotcha.
Were we talking like World War I and whatnot?
I had a special thing on Roosevelt, and I had a special thing about a Civil War guy, but
nice.
The way that those saves didn't work out, so I'm gonna try to figure it out. But we can check out Captain Solomon in the meantime, because this good story.
Captain Benjamin Lewis Salomon was born on September 1, 1914, in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. After high school, he graduated from the USC Dental School in 1937 and began a dental practice. In 1940, during World War II, he was drafted into the United States Army. In the mornings, he would work on soldiers' teeth, and in the afternoon, he would teach infantry tactics. On July 7, 1944, Salomon volunteered to land in Saipan with the 105th Infantry's Regiment, taking the place of the 2nd Battalion surgeon injured in a previous battle. Facing an onslaught of 3,000 to 5,000 Japanese soldiers, he found himself 50 yards from the front lines, caring for over 30 wounded soldiers in his aid tent. As the Japanese forces closed in, Salomon ordered the evacuation of the wounded and resolved to stand his ground until everyone was safe. Despite fierce resistance, the enemy breached their perimeter, resulting in numerous casualties. Captain Salomon's aid station filled with wounded soldiers. Amid the chaos, he witnessed a Japanese soldier bayoneting a wounded comrade and swiftly eliminated the threat. He then confronted more enemy soldiers who attempted to infiltrate the tent, dispatching them with courage and determination. Recognizing the dire situation, Captain Salomon directed the wounded to make their way back to the regimental aid station while he stayed behind to hold off the enemy. He retrieved a rifle, took control of a machine gun after its crew was killed, and valiantly fought, but his fellow infantry never saw him alive again. When they returned after the battle's end, they discovered him surrounded by 98 dead Japanese soldiers, all of whom he had single-handedly defeated. Captain Salomon endured a staggering 76 gunshot wounds, with 24 potentially inflicted while he was still alive. Benjamin...
Hold on. Yeah, you heard that right. Let's hear it again.
He took down 96?
All of whom he had single-handedly defeated.
78
but
bullets.
His fellow infantry never saw him alive again. When they returned after the battle's end, they discovered him surrounded by 98 dead Japanese soldiers, all of whom he had single-handedly defeated. Captain Salomon endured a staggering 76 gunshot wounds, with 24 potentially inflicted while he was still alive. Benjamin Lewis Salomon made the ultimate sacrifice to save the lives of his fellow soldiers. On May 1, 2002, President George W. Bush posthumously awarded him the Medal of Honor. In addition to the Medal of Honor, Benjamin Salomon received a Purple Heart, the American Defense Service Medal, the American Campaign Medal, the Asiatic Pacific Campaign Medal, and the World War II Victory Medal. Salomon lays to rest at Forest Lawn Memorial Park, in Glendale, California.
God bless him.
Oh my goodness. So, yeah, they found him with 98 wounded around him. 98 killed enemy soldiers around him, and 72 bullet holes in him.
25 while he was still alive, they said.
Yes.
But what the hell took till 2002?
Yes, correct.
That's the highlight I had. This guy, damn.
Probably just overstated, People will just let it go. They don't realize it until after the fact, unfortunately. And then those of us in the real world, it's an immediate thing. If I heard that's immediate.
Yeah, it's crazy, right?
So,
yeah, like, don't wait in line. Just go straight to the front.
Saved like most of his platoon.
Yeah.
Drinking more water. Thank you. Appreciate you, Eric. I'm drinking a lot more water than whiskey tonight. I'll tell you what. Incredible.
I'm trying to keep
spiritual. My phone's checking out of town. Oh, right on. Have fun at your son's basketball event, dude. Yeah, family first, man. That's awesome.
Always.
So I found one of the videos that I was looking for, and so we can share this out of chronological order real quick.
No worries.
Everyone needs a hero. Cushing is a great example. There's all kinds of heroes, but Cushing, for soldiers, those service members, men and women, to see this 22-year-old do his duty, knowing after his first wound or two, he was probably going to die.
Lieutenant Alonzo Cushing shows us what ordinary men and women can do when they're thrust upon extraordinary circumstances. People don't plan to be a hero, it happens to them, and they just happen to be there at the right place, at the right time, with the right training and the right motivation, and that's what Cushing showed us.
Well, Alonzo Cushing is really the 19th century equivalent of the All-American Kid. He's born in 1841 in Delafield, Wisconsin. After his father dies when he's very young, he and his 3 surviving brothers moved to Fredonia, New York, where they grow up. Comes to West Point in 1857.
And graduated in June of 1861.
Cushing is commissioned into the artillery and fights in the early years of the war with the Army of the Potomac in the Eastern Theater. Fights at many of their major engagements, First Bull Run, the Peninsula Campaign, Antietam, and at Chancellorsville. In February of 1863, he takes command of Battery A, 4th U.S. Artillery, which is the unit that he's eventually going to take to the Battle of Gettysburg.
Gettysburg, on July 3rd, 1863, was Lee's last big attempt to win the battle. The goal for the Confederate artillery bombardment was to drive the Union guns off Cemetery Ridge, right where Cushing was. During that artillery bombardment, Cushing was severely wounded. And in spite of these wounds that would probably incapacitate many other people, Cushing decided that he was going to remain with his guns, remain with his soldiers, and help them fight it out.
Cushing, at this time, is literally holding his own intestines in. It's about at this time that his NCO, Sergeant Fugler, suggests that, sir, you're pretty bad off. You go to the rear, find some medical aid. And Cushing says, no, I'm going to stay here until this is decided, even if I die in the attempt.
At this point, enough of his artillerymen were wounded that he had to service one of the guns himself. And he used his thumb to cover the vent. The hot gases coming out of the gun singed his thumb down to the bone. And even in spite of the intense pain from that and the other 2 wounds he had already sustained, he stayed there and he ordered his cannons to fire the last round of double canister before he was mortally wounded, shot in the face, and crumpled into the arms of his first sergeant.
And Lieutenant Cushing
is a very good example of what it means to be a leader of character in the United States Army.
And so he's a role model. He's an example of what we all can be. If we just trust in the values we've inculcated in our lives through training and service.
So that dude was definitely what you would call resilient.
No shot.
He sounded like he just kept getting his ass kicked and kept moving forward.
Yeah, and I want to stay at the front.
Wounded twice, burned his thumb off, basically.
Shot in the face.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, I wish I was, quarter of that man.
Oh my goodness. Any notes from the chat from the first couple videos? We had a Civil War Medal of Honor recipients and World War II.
Were you able to work out the others?
No, I'm moving on to Vietnam.
All right.
Vietnam's the longest video of the day, and the other ones weren't as good as this one. Sorry. But cheers again. Thanks for being here. All right, we are moving on to a Vietnam.
We're not
Medal of Honor recipient. Oh, one thing I was going to say about the last video is they were telling a story about somebody from the Civil War. And so with the production team, whoever filmed it, what they did is they had like 4 different people tell the story and then chopped it up. So each little segment you heard from a different person to keep it fresh. That way you're hearing different people's voices, their cadence of speaking, their emphasis on words and whatnot was different. And so you were hearing the same story getting told by 4 different people. It really helped keep your attention zoned in. Things go wrong. Thanks, how you do. Hey, thanks, Dennis. I appreciate you, Dennis. All right, let's get back to it.
Born and raised in Saugerties, New York, in the Hudson Valley. One of 10 children. Right after the Depression. So that paints the picture. Things were tough.
10 children.
Strong father and mother set our compasses for life in various ways. Daddy focused on instilling in us a need to work and work hard, and not be ever ashamed of having to work hard. Mother instilled a spiritual dimension in all of us. And together they both instilled and repeated the need to serve.
Appreciate you, Eric.
New York native Roger Donlin joined the Air Force in 1953. After serving for nearly 2 years, Donlin earned admission into the military academy at West Point. Just 2 years later, he decided to leave the program, but soon after, he re-enlisted, went through officer candidate school, and eventually qualified for the U.S. Army Special Forces.
Super hard.
He was sent to Vietnam in 1964.
In our particular case, we were to be assigned in the mountains in I Corps to a camp called Nam Dong. We would be the 4th Special Forces team in there on a 6-month rotational basis. There had been no significant actions in that area. It was in a somewhat strategic location because we were sitting astride one of the infiltration routes from the Ho Chi Minh Trail out of Laos. So we arrived in country with a mission to train, advise, and assist the Vietnamese in areas that they needed. There were many things building up to the battles. There we had some indications that there was things that brewed. We had a shootout in the camp a few days before, and as we analyzed later, it was instigated by one of the people that we were training, and who was a Viet Cong sympathizer, infiltrator. The term that we hear today more often used was sleeper. We felt we had maybe 19. It so happened that particular night on 6 July 64, I was on guard duty.
6 July, that's tomorrow.
Check off. And all hell broke loose. The first rounds came in.
No, that's right now.
We're so positioned and we so trained.
Pretty much.
Well,
to,
on
from
this
a dead
coast.
sleep to get to positions, specifically mortar positions within our inner perimeter. Well, we got to those positions, and to make a long story short, when we were attacked, there were more like 100 infiltrators, and their instructions were, and they had them all the time, that they would, when the battle started, they would strip off their outer garments, and they would be, in essence, the same uniform of the penetrating infiltrators and sappers, which was brightly colored loincloths. And their survivability. But when they stripped that off, then their instruction was to either break the neck or slit the throat of the person next to them. So the 300 that we were training was nearly down to, at best, 100. Then you get the horrible news that you hope you never hear from your medic, that you're starting to take casualties. And in our case, one of the first was one of our youngest, John Houston. I paused, mentally at least, and said, God, why John? Why not me? Because as I found out in the hospital a week or so later that I was the only one that John had had the opportunity to share the contents of the letter that he received from Alice, that they were soon to be proud parents of twins.
Oh.
Well, that's almost powerful enough to stop you in your tracks, but fortunately, I was able to view it as a need for me to dig deeper, not just to perform my own, but to perform and fill the void that John's absence created.
Donlin swiftly marshaled his forces, directing defense operations amidst a barrage of mortar shells, falling grenades, and heavy gunfire.
Over a PA set. The words clearly in English and then in Vietnamese. Lay down your weapons, we just want the Americans. But it was a powerful weapon used against us because the sympathizers they had, and I think possibly others, stopped firing. So we had to encourage them to re-engage the enemy. It took some doing, during which time I got wounded a couple more times. It was a situation where some of the sappers, infiltrators, large rucks of demolitions were crawling towards the main gate of our camp. And I spotted them, and I moved toward them to try to get a beat on them. They moved up towards and got positions below the main gate. Instinctively through your training, you think instantly or just momentarily what your most effective firing position with a small rifle. And I, for one reason or another, went right into a kneeling position, took a bead on one of the sappers, pulled the trigger, and no ammunition. I got to a mortar pit not far away, and they knew what kind of weapon I had, and they were throwing it out, and I was trying to load it. But it was still in a cardboard container, so I had to pull a few rounds out, load it, and then get 3 rounds and dispatch the sappers, and they never got a chance to blow that main gate. The enemy struck us with a force of 800-900. And we were down to dependable warriors, what we had in the inner perimeter, which is at best 75. But we agreed amongst ourselves that we would never surrender. We would die and go down fighting. So we had that commitment to...
Hold on. He said between 800 and 900 enemies against 75 of them.
Yes.
So it was like 2 companies, or a company plus headquarters or something. That's not a big unit. 75. Yeah.
Each other.
Goodness.
Everybody knew that. And I think that was one of the combat multipliers that kept us going.
For 5 hours, Donlin coordinated his unit's defensive operations despite his critical physical condition from repeated injuries. He moved from position to position, carrying needed weapons and administering first aid and encouragement to the wounded. His bravery and leadership resulted in the successful defense of the camp.
I was home on leave, and thanks for Thanksgiving, 1964. And the phone rang and said they wanted you at the White House at noon on the 5th of December. Didn't quite believe them. Being a Medal of Honor recipient is something that you never even dream of. There's a great sense of comfort, too, knowing that you're now a member of the Congressional Medal of Honor Society, a band of brothers that you never hear the word hate amongst them. You killed the enemy because of the love you had for the man next to you. And the smaller your team, that love is deeper than the man next to you because you know his whole family. You know them that well. You knew their lives. You knew how their careers had developed. You knew their potholes in their lives. You knew how brave they were just getting where they are. So the most powerful emotion on earth is love. We have to remind ourselves that time and time again and convey that to the next generation.
That was badass.
Yeah, it was a good story.
Damn.
Speaking of Medal of Honor recipients, do you guys know how many Medal of Honor recipients there have been so far?
No.
3,536. 3536. That's how many Medal of Honors have gone out and been.
Out of how many millions have served?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Now, how many do you guys think were awarded after they died posthumously?
Half.
Yeah.
Because when I heard this number, I was flabbergasted. So you said half?
That's my guess. Half.
Roughly. Troy?
I would say half to 3/4.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with half.
So majority?
Yeah.
Majority alive or majority not alive?
Majority.
Posthumously.
I thought more of them got awarded posthumously. I thought more of them got awarded when the person died.
I'm going to go 50-50.
All right, so Dennis is guessing 3/4. Orlando is guessing 80%. And now I am going to show you, so you in the chat don't cheat and Google it, because I couldn't believe it.
I can't read that. What does it say?
Oh my God.
How do I
like 80% were not posthumous.
Yeah.
Really?
Like 80% were alive.
Yeah.
Maybe more.
Says 618 posthumously.
Out of 3,536.
Isn't that crazy?
Wow.
I thought the majority of them were after they had died.
So that's a credit to the committee that awards them then.
100%. 100%. So I thought that was super interesting. We talk about Medal of Honor recipients every single month, and that is a fun fact that I have never heard before.
And not only that, think about that at the same time. Over 600 people did such amazing things that they were awarded it while they were, that people could not talk about it after they were gone.
And that is a good lead-in to my next video of a friend of mine that I actually got to spend time with, Christopher Solis. One of those things where after he was killed, people couldn't stop talking about it. But first, let's check that poll. How's the poll doing? Let's give it a little look-see. What branch?
I'm sure Army's running away with it.
Say again?
I said I'm sure Army's running away with it.
Oh yeah, they are.
Lots of frog stompers out there.
I'm telling you, Navy Marines has won once before, and Air Force has won once before. But I think every other month we've done this, it's been Army.
Yeah.
What branch?
Air Force a month.
Sorry, my entire family is Navy Marines. Sorry.
No, it's all right.
My father was Air Force.
If they put on the uniform, I don't care what branch. There's nothing to say sorry for. Let's see. What branch of the military did you or your family serve? Right now, we got 48% Army and Coast Guard. 31% is Navy Marines. Air Force, Space Force coming in far behind at 14% this evening. And other country military has gotten 7% of the votes so far.
Well, the Air Force ones are just too comfortable in air conditioning to vote.
Stop it, Ben.
No.
No.
Time for some water.
So that is how the poll is looking right now.
Let's look at your poll.
Let's look at the wheel of names. I'm going to remind you guys once again, if you are a military veteran and you are here watching us live, put your name on there. Let us know that you serve so we can put you on the wheel, because there is somebody in the audience who wants to buy you a drink. All you have to do is give us your contact info, and if you are the winner, you will get shipped a flight of samples of really good whiskey.
Super cool.
So I just wanted to let you know that is there. Wait, no. Hide it. There we go. Back to reality. Whoops. There goes gravity.
There goes gravity.
I would add one for Navy if I could. If you had a family member. I thought you were in the military, Rob.
Is Rob on the wheel?
No, I'm waiting for him to confirm.
Yeah, give him a second.
I was pretty sure Rob's prior service though.
Not a veteran.
No.
There you go.
Okay.
Just a Navy fanboy. Love it.
You should, Navy man.
I'm just a Navy Marine mess.
So,
mess.
There you go.
I grew up.
I'm a military birth defect.
I was gonna say nobody disagreed with you, Ben.
Yeah, well,
I grew up 20 minutes from an Air Force base, so I was an Air Force brat through and through. Loved every part of it.
All right, let's see if I can get through this one. Told you guys, Christopher Solis and I, we were classmates, living in the same building, sleeping in the same building, eating at the same chow hall every single day for 7 weeks. Me and this guy were together for advanced leadership course in the Army in Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri. And I found a new video about him.
More important, did you ever have a drink with him?
Oh, yeah.
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah, after class we were drinking beers for sure.
Hell yeah! I'm saying that's that's more important.
Always is.
All right, so I'm gonna pour a glass and see.
I mean, it's one thing he knew him. There's a different thing to say he raised a glass with him.
Yes.
Sergeant First Class Christopher Solis was an Army Ranger, through and through.
Chris was beyond proud to be a Ranger. He loved his job. He loved his men. He was just beyond proud to be in the position that he could be.
Sergeant Solis was a larger-than-life character. He was a role model for me, but I think for many other individuals within the Ranger community.
He was a family man. He was a lot of fun. He was a bit of a character at times, but he was a man who liked to keep busy. He liked exploring nature. Oh, he was just Chris.
July 12th, 2018, near the end of the fifth deployment, Sergeant Solis was leading an operation in the Patika province of Afghanistan. Not a very friendly place. To clear the area of enemy forces.
We suppressed them, and it was probably 30 seconds later that the main element of the enemy opened up. And they were hitting us from two different areas, due east and southeast, and at this point in time, it's probably 5:15, so the sun was, coming above the horizon, and the sun was in our eyes, and the enemy used that to their favor, because as we're trying to look through the sun and see where they're shooting at us from, we are ineffectively able to engage the enemy with our, bigger weapon systems, our close air support, or mortars, because we can't get an accurate bead on the targets.
Attacked and pinned down by a large force, the sergeant exposed himself to the enemy fire in order to retrieve a heavy weapon system that allowed his team to fight back and reach the secure location. And during the firefight, a member of his team was critically wounded as they called for medical evacuation.
The bravery and the actions that Chris took during that moment, where he willingly and knowingly recognized to put his body in between the litter team and our medic and the flight crew as a body shield, and he knew that he was the only one to protect them with his fire from his M4. To see that, it's very humbling. Because in between, my burst of fire, I would look back and check on what Chris was doing. I witnessed him physically moving his body as the helicopter crew was moving, as our litter team was moving, and he was placing him and his body armor in between the enemy fire and them.
The helicopter began to take off, and he put himself directly between the cockpit and the enemy, ensuring the aircraft could depart and sustaining what would prove to be a mortal wound. He knew he was hit, but he waited for the aircrew to depart without him.
He dropped to a knee and an arm, and he was looking up at the helicopter. I didn't know it at the time, but he had in fact made eye contact with one of the helicopter crew members, and I saw him take his arm. And the last thing he did before he fell prone on the ground was wave them off to signal, do not sit back down. It is too hot on this HLZ. Get out of here, I'll be fine.
I was very angry when I found out what happened, because I was, before he left, I always said, please promise me you won't be a hero. Just come home to us. That's what we need. That's what we want. And he's like, I can never promise what's going to happen. He's like, whether he's at work or just driving down the road, it's like, you never know what's going to happen. I just try to process it a little bit every day, and I am proud of him. And I'm grateful that, he was never hesitant to do what he felt was right. I love and respect, that he chose to do what he did.
Sergeant First Class Solis' extraordinary heroism and selfless above and beyond the call of duty were in keeping with the highest traditions of military service and reflect great credit upon himself, his unit, and the United States Army. Signed, Joseph R. Biden, the President of the United States.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah, that was a little of a tearjerker.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So how long after you were in school did this happen?
Oh. $5 years. Yeah, 5 years after we were in the school together. Oh, goodness. Let's see if there's been significant change to the poll. Let's
Had you
refresh.
kept in touch, or you just found out after? I'm sorry if I'm asking. I'm just like, wow, that you knew this dude, and he did the deed. He did the thing.
Yeah. So we got 47% Army Coast Guard, 31 now 32%. Oh, keeps changing. People keep voting in the poll. So Army's at 47%, Navy Marines 31%, Air Force Space Force 13%, and other countries now up to 9%.
Wow.
Tater Dom is in the house. Good to see you.
Cheers, Tater.
Thanks for being here.
Cheers, Tater. Well, we're sorry for your loss. Such a great man, Mark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Really nothing you can say.
Oh, goodness. Cheers. Whiskey Boars is in the house. What's up, Sean? Hey, no worries, buddy. I'm just glad you checked in and said hello. Let us know that you're doing all right.
Cheers, Sean.
If you want to click that link, it's up there.
Yeah.
All right. Hold on. Let's do current military news before we do the giveaway.
I was gonna say, do a reminder that of the giveaway. Anyone that's a vet that hasn't checked in yet, check in.
Yeah. Your odds are pretty good.
Yep. If you are a military veteran, let's get your name on the wheel so you can win a flight of whiskey because somebody wants to buy you a drink.
And they don't want to be recognized for it.
Actually, he didn't. I don't think he told me if he wanted to or not. He just said that he wants to give a flight to a veteran.
All right.
Super cool.
Oh, is this J-Max? What's up, buddy?
Yeah, what are you doing next?
All right, J-Max is going on the board.
That's my dude.
So I got you on here. If any military veterans are in the live right now, if you don't see your name up there, let me know so we can put you on there so you can win a flight.
You got Jerry Black in there. He won't admit to it. I don't know why.
He's there.
Okay.
Of course, I got Jerry Black on there.
Just checking.
Videos. Did it load? Did it load? Did it load? Ooh, I don't think it loaded. All right, let's get on to current military news. We can get rid of that. We can get rid of that. We've already looked at that. There's a bunch of nonsense going on in the world today. I tell you what.
Boy, I tell you what.
So, if any of these strike any of your guys' fancy, let me know. So there's a guy talking about how Israel eliminated some of Iran's technical advantage things, and Hegseth is halting some weapons going to Ukraine. Yes, stopping sending weapons to Ukraine. I'm not opposed to that. Reconciliation bill boosts military pay, housing, cuts benefits. What? Hold on. I gotta see what this is about. I wish I could just open a page one day and there not be 300 ads. You know? Like, can I just read what you want me to read? The Pentagon is one step closer to securing $150 billion funding increase. Approve their this year. Department one budget, two bills approach, shifting many priorities, including quality improvements. Should only this time. Pentagon spending to more than $1 trillion for the first time ever. We have got to get control of our spending, man.
Well, we've got the big, beautiful bill.
Well, hopefully that helps some of that. You know what I mean?
I'll be honest. I've heard so many crazy things on both sides. I don't even know what it does.
Right.
Yeah. So we got to wait and see, right? Because it's all like this could be that and this could be that.
Right.
That's how I feel about it at this point. I don't even know.
Well, give me the news without a bias. Give it to me like just straight.
That don't exist.
Yeah, don't put any seasoning on it. I don't want your salt and pepper or whatever. Don't season it. Just give it to me straight. Don't tell me this could. Well, everything after this could is your bullshit, and I don't want to hear it. Say exactly what they are proposing, and that's it.
W. O'Neill. Dad was a tank mechanic in the Army. The Big Red One. Wow.
My dude Will. Love that guy.
Oh, Ed Williams. What up? Good to see you, buddy. And Emmett Ecker's got 3 brothers in the Navy. And wife was in the Navy. Let's see. Ed's here. Strong branch affiliation, Doc. Yep, absolutely. I hope you voted. Vote in the poll. Thanks to all who have served. Appreciate you. Ben from the North is in the house. Coming in late, but glad you're here. Will O'Neill. Dad was a tank mechanic in the Army. Big Red One. 16 years of service. Right on. Cheers to your dad. Did he get to go over and deploy anywhere cool or anywhere not cool?
He's an O'Neill. He's got to be cool.
Yeah. All right. So next down from that bill talking about trillions of dollars and not spelling out what it is for. Next big military current news is increase in the border. Expand zones to 1/3 of southern border, stirring controversy. Why you put stir controversy in there? Like, that is your own opinion for your buzz. I don't want to hear your bullshit. I just want to hear straight up facts. Border, onions, tall grass, wiry bushes, blah blah blah.
Because there's no such thing as unbiased news anymore.
Drug cartels and blah blah blah. Oh, see, this is the kind of straight up facts I'm looking for. Right here. 2 militarized zones of the border, 230 miles from Fort Hancock, Texas, through El Paso, westward across New Mexico. Right now, I've been in that area. Of White Sands, New Mexico, and Fort Bliss. I've been in that area, and it sucks. Department of Defense added an additional 250 miles. So it was 230 miles, but they added 250 miles, so they more than doubled it, just slightly more than doubled it. That's the significant, no bullshit, cut the fat, take your seasonings off, and give me the real meat and potatoes. That's what I'm looking for in your news. Thank you very much for finally fucking getting to the point. So that's pretty interesting. Trump spins controversial spending bill. Oh, that's the one that you were talking about, that big, beautiful bill, right?
Cheers,
Yeah,
Mark.
the bill
Yeah.
thing. I don't know.
Best friend announced today for his candidacy for Iowa House of Representatives 2026. Roger that.
That's cool.
Cool story. Cheers, Mark. Typed out the country's name. Roger. Oh, we're drinking more water.
We can do that.
Absolutely, we can.
Mark Amenecker, how did your tomahawk turn out?
Ooh, that's a great cut.
Military sending 200 Marines to help ICE in Florida. Why?
Hey, Mark, just on other news, I got to tell you, I've been cleaning up around here.
Yeah.
And I found an entire box of samples to go that are labeled NWB, along with all the other NWB samples I already had.
What?
So you're probably going to get a lot of samples from me next very soon, because we found this box and everything's labeled NWB, NWB, NWB.
Probably stuff that came up while we were drinking one night, and you're like, "You want me to send you a sample of this?" And
Yeah.
you do your thing to where you free pour from the bottle without a funnel straight into the sample bottle. And show, like, after we've been, now I can do it sober. I 100% can, because I've done it before. But you do it after we've been drinking together for 3 or 4 hours. And I'm like, whoa, dude. I use various sizes of funnels.
Funnels. You know what I don't like about funnels? Funnels mix and funnels hold residue. They're a pain in the ass to clean. Too much work.
They're a pain in the
No,
ass.
but we
They're not a
found
natural
box.
shape to rush it out.
He found this big cardboard box with stuffing and stuff, and everything inside it was labeled NWB. And yet he's like, but he has a whole pile over there. I'm like, whatever.
How do you get it in the fucking bottle then? Huh?
What do you mean? Very carefully.
No, I said I have done it sober, and I saw that it was completely possible. But this guy does it after we've been drinking together for 3 or 4 hours.
Yep, totally agree.
That's the part that I don't do.
I mean, it's kind of, I mean, if I had the discipline for medical school, I definitely could have been a surgeon.
Oh, you have a steady, dude. My brother's an artist. He has a steady.
Everyone in my family is in medicine except for me, basically.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, well, there you go.
I mean, like nothing, and that's I've been drinking for hours.
Right, and my little brother, he's an artist. He's been
my dad's a corpsman. What else do you need to know?
Right, he's been in the video game industry for the last decade plus, or 2 decades or whatever. And he's been an artist his whole life. He's a great artist. But yeah, his hand, it's so steady.
Well, what's crazy is I could do that all day long. I can't draw a straight line.
It happens.
I can't.
It happens.
Straight lines are overrated.
Exactly.
I hang a little to the left all the time.
All right, so we talked about military news. Going on to our news. If anybody out there has a family member that's currently serving and something happened with them, like they got promoted or they got deployed or they came back home from deployment or something like that, we have an our news section for our military. So our news, like with me, my full-time job, I'm the Army Reserve Administrator for my unit. I just got a new position with a different battalion to where I got a pay raise and additional benefits. And I moved from one battalion to another, but it's still in the same brigade. So I still work with a lot of people I still work with. I actually still work in the same building. I just had to move offices and work with a different group of people. But I got a raise and work with a different group of people.
All we got to do is celebrate the fact that our boy got a raise.
Yeah.
Well, and,
That's awesome.
and it was an upgrade because I have a GS position, right?
Yeah.
So you guys know the GS positions, there's steps. So I went from a step 1 to a step 2.
Hell yeah.
And nobody pays attention to how long his lunch break is.
No, they don't. We're still live, Joe.
Can confirm.
No, yeah, I'm complete honor and integrity. He's referring to time where I said I can take an early lunch and go meet up with you, and we ended up being gone to where I came back later than my regular lunch would have ended.
Yeah,
and
what time did you go home though?
And so it was a good. That was a long lunch. Yes,
That's all right. How many days do you stay past Quentin time?
The majority of the time I'm the last one there. Yeah.
So they could suck it up and there's your lunch.
What's up, Possum Crew?
Possum Crew's in the house. What's up, Jeremy? Good to see you, buddy. Congrats. I appreciate you guys.
Not only you get promoted, he got to travel across the country on the Army's dime.
That's with my other unit.
You still got to travel across the country.
I did.
You weren't recognized for no reason, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, so there was what Ben is talking about now. There's I'm in the 7th Infantry Division as the different part. I'm dual status, right? Dual status means that my civilian job is in the Army and my Army job is in the Army, but it's with 2 different units. My Army unit is the 7th Infantry Division, where I'm the engineer operations sergeant for the 7th Infantry headquarters division. So they were asking people who wanted to go to the Washington, D.C. parade. I put my name in the hat, and I'm like, if you're paying for me to go to D.C., I'm willing and able, buddy. Send me. And out of the how many people do we have in our group? Like 60 something. There was only 3 of us that went to represent the 60 of us in the reserve element of 7th ID. And out of all the whole division, which is a few thousand, there was only, I want to say 600 out of the few thousand. So if you break it up, if you take all the active duty Army, which is like almost 500,000, you take all the National Guard and the reserves, which combined, they're like 450, something like that. So it's just under 1 million Army total. Only 6,000 Army soldiers got to go and march in the parade in DC. So you can see percentage-wise, that's really freaking low. Of who's currently serving in the Army and got to go march in the parade. I absolutely loved it. It was a complete honor. It was fantastic. You know what, Rob? I am not on Discord. I have my personal Discord that I am a member of other people's channels, but I do not run my own Discord channel. And so that is something that I might do in the future if people are interested in that. But I do not currently have one.
You could skip that, Mark.
Okay. I was going to start reading.
Yeah.
Canada, bunch of emojis. Glad you're still here. Ben, are you drinking anything tonight? Ben from the north?
Oh.
I shake like a nervous chihuahua.
I was going to say, this one's definitely drinking this Ben.
Oh, my goodness. That's hilarious. So did anybody else in the panel or anybody else in the chat, especially any veterans, have any family members or you yourselves, they got promoted, deployed, returned from deployment, anything significant happening in your lives for the R News portion?
No.
Just still waiting to hear back from Anchored.
Okay. And I know Bad Axe, Bobby, his son is just doing great things, progressing. I mean, that kid's like working out every day. He's getting jacked. It's ridiculous.
Hey, Mark, serious question. Could you be deployed again in your current position?
On the 7th
On the Army side, obviously.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, because I'm in the reserve element and I'm the combat engineer operations sergeant for the headquarters division. And so if we needed more engineer support to whatever 7th ID right now is in charge of Pacific Theater Command. So if anything kicks off Pacific Theater Command wise, I'm in the headquarters division. And so if the engineer element needs any additional support, they could be like, hey, bro, you want to come? And right now,
so basically, China messing with
Taiwan,
Taiwan, or North Korea messing with South Korea.
Mhm.
That would be your department.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
And you think I would turn that down?
You retire.
Nope, I wouldn't turn that down. No.
Your wife might kick the hell out of you.
No, my wife would understand more than you know. Like she is. She knew exactly what she was signing up for and who she was marrying. Drinking water.
There you go. Freaking man, that's what you got.
Well, see, and the reason why I say that, because the deployment discussion has never come up in the last 5 years. But the reason why I say that is because when I say, hey, hon, I've got some course or class I've got to go to, in a few months down the road, put it on your calendar or whatever. I say, hey, there's a shuttle service that, for $50, they'll park in my driveway, load my bags for me, and drive me to the airport. You and the kids don't have to wake up. And she's like, no, I want to drive you to the airport. And she has never contested one time that I'm like, I'm going to go overnight or go, over a week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks, going to the different places that I go for my Army stuff. In the last year, I've gone out of state, 5-6 times?
Yep.
In the last 15 months. And every time she's insisted, she drives me and picks me up from the airport. That's it. She never complains, never gives me any shit for it at all.
Be right back, Mark.
All right. Cheers, buddy. Go ahead. Lots of conflict in the international waters. China and Philippines, yes. China messes a bit with the Philippines. Yep. All right. So does anybody else have any other personal news they want to share with regarding their family? Wait, I know Independent Joe's daughter. Is she back from deployment? I haven't heard from. But yeah, so Bobby, Bad Axe Bourbon, Bobby, if you're watching, or Independent Joe, if you're watching, give us an up on your kids so we can give them our appreciation and our thumbs up, because we know that other service members out there are doing stuff.
Yeah,
and
the only family I have right now is in the IDF. So.
No, Joe's daughter's Air Force, and he's worried about her getting deployed with the current situation. And
I think she is being deployed.
He hadn't said shit to me, so
yeah.
I talked to him on the phone.
I want to recognize them and spread cheers, and if anybody wants to send thoughts and prayers their way, I'm all about it.
So next year,
I like sending food and booze.
That's
food
good.
and booze.
They like that better than thoughts and prayers.
Yeah,
that's good, Joe. They put in chat she's not getting deployed.
I'm not worried about anything. Oh, right on. She isn't deployed till next year. Appreciate the shout out. Yeah, roger that. Much love and respect to you and the example you have set for your children, Joe. You're a stand-up dude, and we fucking love you.
Yeah, I was blessed. Joe was on. I think it was last weekend, not this Friday. Last Friday, he was taking his boys to the setup fight. I had Joe and his boys on my stream drinking.
Oh, that's awesome.
Where's Bad Axe Kid at right now?
Oh man, I don't remember where he's at. Isn't he in Italy or something?
Yeah, well, he started out there. I don't know if he's still there or not. Bobby hadn't done a fucking live in a bit, so just curious if anybody fucking knows. Italy. Yeah. Right on, brother. Don't worry then. And I'm not a veterinarian. Okay.
A veterinarian.
He put that in fucking chat, man. Because you're doing veterans. He goes, "Well, Z, man."
Oh, he's being funny.
You did what to a cat?
Guys, got to go hit the sack. Long day here. Great. Hey, good night, Rob. Appreciate you being here, buddy.
He poked it with a sunshine don't stand.
All right, so let's go ahead and do the giveaway.
There you go. Oh, look at Troy. Shows up. Oh, look. Oh, free whiskey. Right in back in screen.
So stupid.
Yes, I am.
Oh my goodness. I love it. All right, so if there are any veterans on the live right now, if you are a military veteran, let us know that you are here watching, and you have like 30 seconds to get your name on this wheel, because a flight of whiskey could be coming your way. And it's not for me. But speaking of, I think I might do a second wheel after this and give you a flight sample of the 23, 24, and 25 Evan Williams Heroes.
Great flight.
That'd be a good flight.
That would.
That don't suck.
Let's see. Man, I can't. So we had talked about doing something. I can't get it to come up. Where the heck is it?
Jeremy Dirks finally got time for a pour. There you go. Pour it up.
So, Mark.
Hell yeah. What's up, buddy?
Since we made our trip to Waller Hall or whatever that was.
Yes.
Have they stopped calling you Staff Sergeant and started calling you First Sergeant?
Sergeant First Class, but yeah.
Sergeant First Class. There you go.
Yes.
Excellent.
Yes, that actually did work.
SFC, otherwise known as So Fucking Cool.
So fucking cool. Playlist. How do I change what this playlist is on? Add description. Add to playlist.
I mean, I got a tune I can play for you.
All right, so I have not seen any other veterans shout out that they are not on the veterans wheel. And so we are going to go ahead and spin that bad boy and see what happens. Is anybody asking for a shuffle? Any shuffle requests?
Nah.
Good luck,
All right,
everybody.
One shuffle? Okay, one shuffle. There it goes.
Excuse me. Oh, looking now.
Congrats, buddy.
I am happy with that. I already have J-Max's contact info, so I will send that. And J-Max, thanks for being here. You are going to get a flight, not by me, but by somebody in the audience who wanted to buy a drink for a veteran on the stream tonight.
Super cool.
Super, super cool. All right, now for me to add people, Jeremy Dirks, Mr. Mom, Jerry Black, Z-Man.
You ain't got to add me, brother.
Okay. Well, yeah, you have all three of these. Jeremy Dirks, Mr. Mom, Orlando. So if you are here watching live, and if you want to get entered into the raffle to get a sample of each one of the 1783, 2023, 2024, and 2025. I will send you a sample of all three of these bad boys. CJP is still in the house. Eric is still in the house.
And speaking of Eric, it's time to drink some water.
Heck yeah. Dude, I love drinking water so much.
Hey, Mark, what do we got for current military news? I feel like we haven't hit on that at all yet.
We went through it talking about the border and the bills, and I
just had a big
parade. I don't know if you had any videos queued up or anything.
No, I don't have any videos for it. We were just
all right, copy. Just putting it out there.
Had a big parade, bombed Iran.
Yep, there was a lot of shit that happened. That's why I read through the news article.
Bomb Iran.
That is your name. Jerry Black is still in the house, and you're already on the wheel. Anybody? Hold on. Show on stream. Is anybody still watching right now that they do not see their name on the wheel? If you do not see your name on the wheel, let me know if you want to get entered in to win a sample of all 3 years of the 1783 American Heroes bottles. Send you a sample of those 3 guys. I have the 24 and the 25, so you don't need to enter me. Better someone else that doesn't have any.
Well, crap. I have samples for CJP. It sounds
Can I get a who? Will O'Neill's in the house.
It sounds like CJP needs me to add 2023 heroes to his pile.
Yeah, send him.
I got you on that.
Gotcha. Okay, I'll take CJP off, and Bourbon is going to graciously give you what you need. No homo.
As soon as I find it down here, it's here.
And I got a who? Okay,
there.
10 more seconds. If you're here watching live and you don't say anything, then you can't say anything. 10 seconds.
I just got to go make sure I didn't already pour it for him. I'll be right back.
I'm going to pour a drink, then I'm going to spin the wheel. And roger that.
Congrats, winner.
No way.
Independent
Joe. Independent Joe. Freaking love that guy. I'm good, Mark. I have them all. Thank you, Dennis. Thank you for letting me know that not only you're still here, but that you have them and you're good. Jeremy Dirks, raising a glass. Appreciate you, Joe. I don't think Joe has all 3 years. The 23, the 24, and the 25. I would be honored to send these to Independent Joe. He has been a great friend of the channel. The very first live stream I ever did, he was the Veterans Live. These Veterans Whiskey Club live streams, the first one I ever did, he was the only one that showed up. And so, dude, Independent Joe has a special place in my heart. Not only that, but wait, there's more. So, you know the Dusty Dan thing where he does the little competition? Yep. He reached out to me and Independent Joe and asked us if we'd be partners in the one that he's setting up for coming up sometime soon. And so I'm going to be partners with Independent Joe for the upcoming thing.
Congrats, buddy.
Yeah, and Stacy from which you guys were just on Stacy's channel last week.
Yep.
She asked us if me and Independent Joe wanted to go against each other in a blind. And so we have a blind battle where we're partners and a blind battle where we're against each other, both coming up soon.
That's awesome.
That's pretty funny.
So is he doing Double Trouble again? Is that what it is?
I don't know. I don't know how many people he's reached out to yet. I don't know what the game is. I just know the other day I got a message on Instagram with a chat group that he started with me and Joe. They said, "Do you guys want to be partners for a blind battle?" And we were like, "Sure."
Absolutely.
That's all I know so far. So I don't know if he's still putting a roster together, or I don't know where the status of this is. But it was just funny because it was in the same week, the last few days. In this last week, Dusty Dan and Stacy both sent me and Joe a message asking us about blind battle, but one of them were partners and one of them were against each other.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
and FYI, Joe's got a great palate, so he's going to make a great partner for you.
Yeah. Joe and I have blinded against each other before, and we were really close. I think it was 7-9 as a tie.
Somehow I feel like it was probably 6-9.
Ba-dum-bum-ba-dum-bum-bum. Our name is Whiskey Tango Foxtrot, unless you have a better name. No, I thought that was great because we both have Whiskey Tango Foxtrot shirts. As long as we wear the same shirt, the Whiskey Tango Foxtrot shirts. As long as we're looking like we coordinated, I'm with it.
Is that for Dusty's competition?
Please send that flight to Jerry Black. I would be absolutely happy to. I think I already have Jerry Black's inflow as well.
And Mark, as you talk about it, here we go.
That's the no funnel pour.
Yeah, and like I said, I can do that sober. But after multiple hours of drinking, I'm not even going to play. I'm going to use one of many variety of sizes of funnels.
Nope. No funnel right here.
Because I know I'm going to get my boots wet if I try to do like how you
get your boots wet. What's the big deal?
Hey, yeah, you go out in the rain, you track mud in the house. You know what I'm saying?
I was going to say, nobody wants
to play in the mud.
Jungle rod on their feet.
Yeah, you play in the mud, don't track mud in the house.
Yeah, but that means you had a good day.
You're picking up what I'm putting down. Let's see.
CJP complimenting you, Ben.
For what?
Your ninja stable hands.
Ninja stable hands. Does the funnel get bigger the more you drink? Yes, absolutely. That's why I have 3 different sizes.
That's how it works, Dennis.
Yeah. So
that's why I pour all our samples ahead of time.
I've got 3 different sizes of funnels. Because it depends on what I'm doing. Like when you guys see me do the reviews and I pour it into the infinity bottle, I'm taking a bottle and I'm worried more about what's going on with the review. So I use the biggest funnel. When I'm like intentionally pouring samples for somebody and I'm not on camera, I'm going to use a smaller funnel because I have more of them. And so I clean them more often, or I get a clean one more often. Let's see. All right. Last thing on the list after we talked about military news and our news, last on the list is the AAR. Because we are going to do this again next month. The first Saturday of August, we are going to be right here talking about things that happened in military history, things going on with us. We're going to honor the fallen. And we're going to do everything we did tonight, but it's going to be applied to the month of August as opposed to July. So when we do it again next month, what things should we make sure that we do again and sustain? And what things should we make sure that we try to improve or do more better?
Double check the video clips.
That would be a brutal punishment if the funnel gets smaller. Yes, it would. Servicemen and shares, thank you very much. Gratitude for your service. Appreciate you. Whiskey Uncensored, you're the best. I'll send you my address, Mark. I don't think you have my new. Oh, dude, if you have a new address, you got to send it to me.
Mark, you saw?
Hold the phone.
For Heroes for CJP. There you go.
Oh, nice. Well, that's a beautiful label too.
That's how I do, you know. Big bling and shit, yo.
This is why I'm hot. I second what Eric said.
Mark, what's coming up for you, buddy?
Yeah, there you go.
What's coming up for me is if you if any of you guys here go to Northwest Bourbon, click on the link, click on the name or whatever, it takes you to the channel. If you see the headers, you can go to playlists. Playlists, go to Distiller's Perspective. Distiller's Perspective is where I interview a local or veteran-owned whiskey, and there is a lot of very interesting whiskey makers out there that I've interviewed. And this upcoming week, I have a very unique, distinct, interesting whiskey maker here in Seattle that is very unique. And for me to emphasize that with the audience of the other people that I've interviewed is saying a lot, because I've had the pleasure of and the honor of interviewing a lot of really interesting whiskey makers out there, and this one is second to none when it comes to their unique process. So be on the lookout for this upcoming Thursday. I've got Copperworks on the schedule. Copperworks Whiskey in Seattle, Washington are going to be on the show this Thursday, 2100. That's 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And we're going to talk about who they are, what they're doing, and their unique process. It's going to be a heck of a show. And if you show up and you ask a question, then you are going to get entered into a raffle to win prizes. And it's going to be a blast. That is what I've got on the schedule right now. I've got them on the schedule. Plus, like I mentioned earlier, next week I'm going to be meeting up with Vince from Horse Soldier. And he's got a bottle of the 250th anniversary that I'm going to be reviewing on the channel. And you can bet your ass it's going to be whiskey of the month.
Speaking of which, Mark, let's show this off.
In August.
We didn't get to it tonight.
In August, you can bet that's going to be the whiskey of the month. Ben, I was going to ask if so there's the Green River. No, Ben, come back. There's the Green River 250th anniversary, right? Green River and Horse Soldier. Has anybody heard of any other whiskey that put out an Army 250th anniversary? Because I'm pretty sure it's just the two of them, Green River and Horse Soldier, right?
Not I.
All right, Ben, let me see it.
All right, fine.
No, I love it when you. I love it when you bring shit up, but like you don't have to cut me off to do it.
Yeah, well, I've been drinking for hours. My bad.
I love it. Dude, that's such a gorgeous label. 250th Army anniversary.
Did you get to check in or still not yet?
Shit. No, because when I was there, the manager wasn't available. Then I got a phone call and I had to bounce. And so I'm gonna ask if they're gonna get those on base because they're supposed to. This we'll defend. Nice. I have the utmost respect. I appreciate you, CJP. We appreciate your support. I
just need to know if I need to grab you.
How are the bunnies coming along? I fed and watered them today. They're still healthy and doing good. Hopefully they're going to make some hopefully the breeding process that took place this last weekend set, and we're going to have new babies next month. There was a lot of brown chicken, brown cow going on. I have only heard of those two releases. Maker's Mark. Are you serious? Does Maker's Mark really have a... Oh, they have a marine one. Okay. I would 100% buy that.
I heard, I forget, I think it's Green River is doing a Navy and a Marine. I think a Navy and a Marine one. Or is it Horse Soldier? One of them is definitely doing all three.
Really?
Yeah, I think it's Green River, but I could be wrong. I hope, I hate to say it, I hope it's not Horse Soldier because I don't want to spend $450 on them.
Let's see. Where is...
You just March Marine Corps. I haven't heard of that one.
Brass and Anchor Founders Blend is really good. Yes. I have I have batch 1 of the Brass and Anchor Founders Blend. That is really good. I did not get batch 2 before it sold out, and so I was actually thinking about reaching out to the guys because one of the guys has been on the show on the Veterans live stream, which is the first time I met Troy when Jason from Warriors and Whiskey was on, which Veterans Whiskey Club and Warriors and Whiskey is the same guys. You can see the links in the video description right now. The links to Veterans Whiskey Club and Warriors and Whiskey, same dudes. It's the same overhead company with different departments under it. So they're the ones that own Brass and Anchor, and yeah, I missed out on batch 2. I'm gonna have to ask them if they got more of those. Okay. Any other AAR comments? Things that we should do the same next month or do the different. 4 Branches Bourbon Continental Army Navy Marines limited edition released. I want to create 250th anniversary. Really, Dennis? I've seen 4 Branches on the shelf at Fort Knox. I haven't seen it up here at Fort Lewis. But I need to reach out to those guys to see if I can get them on the show. Thanks for reminding me, Dennis. I'm gonna freaking write that down. Reach out to 4 Branches.
What is special about this one? Jesus. 9-year. 9-year with a Willet mash bill?
All right, so reach out to 4 Branches. I've got to talk to them.
Hold up. So I'm doing a little research here, and the 4 Branches limited edition that is available appears to have a Willet mash bill, and it's 9 years old.
Yeah, that doesn't excite me.
It should.
You, my friend,
Mark is not a Willet fan.
You sent me a flight of Purple Tops to show me what Willet can do, and I was like, "Yeah, it's okay, but it's not $400." Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry.
We talked about that.
I know. I love Willet.
Different people have different palates, and it's all good. It is all good. Marvin, good to see you, Marvin.
Cheers, brother.
I have met people that don't like anything from Jack Daniels, and I've met people that don't like anything from Old Forester.
I will check that. I've never met anybody who is into whiskey who did not like their barrel proof.
I was gonna say I've met people that have been completely wrong before too.
Right. Richie Z is in the house. Good to see you, buddy.
What's up, Richie Z?
All right, so does 4 Branches distill their own juice? I don't think so.
Yeah, I doubt it.
I'm just saying it looks like it could be Schmellet. I'm not saying that, but it's a particular mash bill with a particular set of skills.
It's worth an investigation.
Yep. Now, Bourbon, from recent history of my trip to DC, there is some of the stuff that comes from the Willet distillery that I do like. It is good, but
it's the price that's the problem.
Yeah. My big thing is that's a good bottle. It's a whiskey I would drink. Out of the 3 that I tried there, that was my favorite. But would I pay $400 for that bottle? Absolutely not.
That is true. We got to raise a glass that not only did Mark get to go to DC, he got to go to Jack Rose.
I did go to Jack Rose.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
That's amazing.
And I walked alone in the rain in that ghetto fucking neighborhood. And I came out unscathed.
Nobody was going to mess with you.
Well, because I gave the head nod to the guys I needed to give the head nod to, and I ignored the guys that I needed to ignore because I've been on shitty streets before. All right, so before we close out, we are going to close down the poll. Right now, the poll is 48% Army, 29% Navy Marines, 15% Air Force Space Force, and it dropped to 8% other countries' military. And so I'm closing the poll. The Army definitely represented strong tonight. Poll is closed. Appreciate all you guys. And I appreciate Eric. Ever since the very beginning of this stream tonight, Eric has been on freaking point with us reminding us to drink water. Appreciate you, man. And so to close out, we always close out with taps. But this is going to be an experimental taps, not the normal one we play.
Experimental taps.
Because I don't know how the audio quality is going to sound to you guys. Because as you know, last month I got to go to Washington, D.C. I got to go to Arlington Cemetery. I got to go to the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier. And I was waiting around hoping to see the changing of the guard ceremony. After the changing of the guard ceremony, I got to see the wreath changing ceremony, which I wasn't expecting. And I did not know what it was. I had never seen it before or heard about it and did not know what the heck was going on. But it turns out with any association like a company, a school, or whatever comes and they present a wreath to the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier, there's a complete whole ceremony that happens with that. And during that ceremony, they play taps. And while I was standing there waiting to watch the changing of the guard ceremony, there was 2 different schools. Like one was an elementary school and one was a middle school, I think. There was 2 different schools there. So they did 2 different wreath ceremonies back to back. So I got to witness this lesser known ceremony twice. And they did it back to back. Flawless execution, every step mirrored, watching it twice in a row. It was crazy. The only thing different was the wreath itself and the group of kids that they brought down to present it. And so I am going to share that with you guys. Only one of them, though. I'm not going to share both of them, of course. I'm going to share one of them with you guys. And the sergeant of the guard, the NCOIC, that was standing close to me, is the first sergeant of the guard, the one in charge, the one that does the ceremony things with the changing of the guard and stuff, that's a female. And so I thought that was pretty cool too. Hold on. I want to get the part where you actually see her talking to the kids because I thought that was cool. Let's do a little bit of a share screen. All right, so this is going to be a little bit longer than the regular taps close out. But as soon as taps is done being played, I'm going to end the live stream. If anybody wants to jump in the backstage, you can click the link, and I will not add you during this video. But I want to tell you guys today, I appreciate you guys being here. Lots of love for everybody in the chat and that's on the panel especially. But I'm going to let you guys witness a ceremony here that is not one that gets nearly the recognition that the changing of the guard does. And we're going to hear taps live, or that I recorded live.
Ladies and gentlemen, the ceremony that you are about to witness is an Army wreath lighting ceremony to be conducted in honor of the unknowns. Thank you.
See, that's the sergeant of the guard. She's the one in charge, and it's the first time a female has ever held that position. And she was on her shit that day. I'm telling you. Flawless.
To be in that position, they were on their shit every day.
Absolutely. Seeing taps and hearing taps live was completely different.
No, I'm not touching that shit.
It was really cool. Anyways, we're cutting off the live stream. Thanks you guys for joining me, and we will see you guys next month for another episode of the Veterans Whiskey Club live stream. And if you guys want to tune in next week, this upcoming Thursday, actually, I'm going to be interviewing Copperworks, which is a very unique and distinct distillery in Seattle, Washington, if you want to check it out. Thanks for being here. Arm, protect, enjoy. Cheers.